Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm the Mandalorian.
I'm Robbie.
And today we got some stuff to talk about. I think there was a new South Park episode we all saw. Me and Rob saw John Wick 4, and something else came out.
And
Not really
Rob
important.
and I saw
Not really important.
The Mandalorian. Yeah, the new episode. That's just the best episode of the Mandalorian so
But
far.
Blandalorian. I don't know.
No, not anymore, dude. They're coming
No,
back
definitely not anymore.
No, Dave Ramsey, the director of Into the Spider-Verse, directed his Star Wars debut, and between this and Into the Spider-Verse, I'm ready to give him like a picture like Star Wars trilogy that will get canceled in 3 years in pre-production.
Yeah, who did they just give a Star Wars movie? Because I think Damon Lindelof's Star Wars movie fell through, and they hired.
They took it away from Snyder. They took it away from Zack Snyder, and now Zack Snyder's got his own shit in Netflix, and I don't
think Zack Snyder ever had a Star Wars movie. What's his face? The guy directed the crappy Fantastic Four movie in 2015. Josh Trank. He had a Star Wars movie. Yeah, and then that got taken away.
Then he destroyed another house.
Probably. And then Patty Jenkins, I don't think her movie's moving forward either. But I don't know. I think they announced someone else is getting their own Star Wars movie. But I don't know.
I'm gonna make the greatest dogfight pilot space battle movie ever, and then Top Gun 2 comes out, and they're like, "Nah, we're just gonna sideline you for like 10 years." This is good.
In other Marvel, or Disney let go news, they fired Ike Perlmutter, I think today. He was he was the CEO of Marvel, I think, when it first started. And I think at this point, it doesn't really make a difference if he was still on payroll or not, because he really had no say in the movies or the MCU.
Yeah,
but
chairman of Marvel Entertainment lays off.
I think he was in charge of like the publishing, so the actual comic publishing. So maybe they'll crank out some good stuff now that he's gone. So I don't know. Could be a good thing, but it's not good. I don't think it's good. I don't think it affected the MCU the same way the Victoria Alonso firing did.
Well, maybe not immediately, right? But we all know Marvel tests out all the ideas for their movies in the comic books several years beforehand, right? So maybe if we get some better comics, 5 years after that, we'll get some better movies.
Yeah, I mean, they're just adapting stuff that just was like written like 5 years ago. I think like Love and Thunder.
Stupid. Why
like Love and
would
Thunder,
they just skip 30 years of comic books that sold in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in some like issues or arcs, right? And now they've rushed through all of that just to fucking jump ahead to 2010, 2015. So we get these trash ass storylines because all the good storylines were cough taken in the last 60 years.
Well, they got like the fan service with Loki and his President Loki uniform, like from the comic that was like sold like 2 years ago that nobody bought.
Right.
Like people were like, "Oh, I know that costume." So yeah, they don't really want to go too far. And I think like the Moon Knight show was just adapted from like a recent run that wasn't very good either. But we'll see. There's really nothing Marvel related I'm looking forward to except Daredevil. I'm sad to say. I mean, Guardians 3 could be good, but
what about Kang? It looks like Jonathan Majors' lawyers have come out and said that they will provide evidence that unequivocally proves Jonathan Majors' innocence. So it looks like the Marvel Phase 5 and 6 might still be on. Who knows?
Do you think they're gonna hire back Justin Roiland now that he's been exonerated? They dropped all the charges.
I know they dropped all the charges, and like I want to say, like,
I don't know if Adult Swim's taking them back or not.
I haven't read anything about anyone taking them back.
I mean,
it's like egg on their face. They fired him before. They fired him before, like he was proven guilty, right? Like this is America, like the land of like innocent until proven guilty, right? Like
then he's innocent, and then they're like, "Oops, sorry."
Yeah, do what the fucking public education system does. Do what the police system does.
There's gonna be a massive
do a
yes. Victoria Alonso already is suing Disney.
Just go with the rage of the crowd instead of the judge.
Look, I'll tell you right now, that lawsuit's not going anywhere. Disney dotted their I's and crossed their T's on firing this girl or this person. Victoria.
We'll see. I mean, I have no interest in seeing Secret Invasion, even if it has that chick from Game of Thrones in it, and Nick Fury. I'm trying to think what else is coming out this year. I think Wonder Man, which is definitely like a C-list Avenger. So
I wonder what that's going to be about.
It's basically going to be like it's going to be like Entourage in the MCU, like a guy working his way through Hollywood, but he's also a superhero. I think so. Sort of like I think that Entourage meets extras plus MCU. Done? Am I done?
You done with superheroes? Yeah, like between like I'm like thinking like you're like
no.
What is Marvel doing? And I'm like, what is DC doing? Like the Flash looks dope, but like after that, like, are you excited for
really
the spin-off of The Boys?
Seems no one is excited for anything in that movie that revolves around the title character. So everyone's just excited about Michael Keaton as Batman. I think maybe some people might be excited about Supergirl, but that's just another.
Well,
they're just replacing. Everyone's still mad about Henry
Cavill. They've also downplayed the Flash a lot in the promotional material during this tumultuous time with Ezra Miller, right?
I think people are just excited to see Michael. Yeah, people are just excited to see Michael Keaton again, but
because we didn't get to see him in Batgirl.
Was he gonna be in that? I completely.
He was. Yeah, he was supposed to be in that, but we'll never see Batgirl.
You know
what is coming to HBO Max though? Not Batgirl, but in April, Talladega Nights is coming to HBO Max.
The movie we saw 15 years ago, probably more than that.
Yeah, but now it's fuck you. It's funny as shit. It's coming to streaming. Finally, let's do it. Also, House of Dragons season 2 on HBO Max will have fewer episodes than last time.
Yeah, because they're trying to stretch it out. So they're gonna like make the second season slower than the first one.
Yeah. And speaking of stretching things out, The Last of Us Part 1 finally hit PCs. All hail the master race.
I thought you were about to announce a Plastic Man movie. She said, talking about stretching things out. Plastic Man's just been announced.
How'd you know my OnlyFans account name?
Plastic
Subscribe? Are you a subscriber?
Don't you mean Latex Man?
No. What? Awful. No. I'm definitely Rubber Ball Boy.
Okay. I don't know. I think Ben Schwartz from Parks and Rec wants to play Plastic Man, but
no. So I googled Last of Us PC, and like the very first thing that pops up from 10 hours ago: warning, avoid the extremely bad The Last of Us PC port for now.
Oh no. So
well,
Last of Us
well.
PC port bombs at launch, and PC gamers are fed up.
I need to watch
I need to watch all these headlines. Do not look good.
You know what blows my mind? PC gaming, like just in general, just absolutely blows my mind. Like you guys are gaming online on the same screen that has porn. Like, what are you doing playing video games? I'm kidding. Thanks.
I got a freaking flight sim set up on.
Well, that's why people have multiple monitors.
You have a sick setup. Touche Force. There it is. Multiple monitors.
Yeah, and I got that reminds me
of Family Guy.
Of course.
When Brian's trying to teach Chris Griffin how to pick up chicks, and Brian walks in, and Chris just like watching like 28 different tabs of porn all at once, and he's like, I like to imagine I'm the security guard at a shopping mall.
That's a good impression, Chris.
Thank you. It just really cracked me
I thought you were going to bring up the episode where Peter watches porn, but in an internet cafe, he's surrounded by people he's butt naked. He's like, oh yeah, you're going to be my Asian Lois. So yeah, he's just like surrounded by people and he's butt naked. It's great. So yeah, I need to watch The Last of Us finale. But what other video games do you think would y'all like to see adapted?
Dead or Alive beach volleyball. I'm leaning into the perv right now. I'm committing to the bit.
Man, that's been years.
Yeah, Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Bring it to PC.
It's really tough to
bring it to mobile gaming.
It's really.
I would love to play that game from my wife. That would be so funny if she's just like cooking dinner and just walks over and I just got my phone like portrait mode and I'm just playing like Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Dude, I would die laughing so hard.
You're gonna be my pixelated Kelly or something like that. So
I'm gonna spend real money on pixelated bikinis or something.
Well, they did make a Dead or Alive live action movie. I think it went straight to DVD. It was pretty awful. I never saw it, but that was like my favorite fighting game. What was really the only fighting game I played growing up. I mean, I liked Injustice and I guess Marvel vs. Capcom, but
all I'm saying is just give Zack Snyder the Injustice. James Gunn. If James Gunn was smart, if Warner Bros. Knew what was good for them, they would just give Zack Snyder the old characters of the DCEU, right, unofficially named, and just let him do Injustice. That would be so cool. And then let James Gunn make his whole new universe. Dude, now you're getting like billions out the butt. But no, let's not make good decisions for shareholders. Cool, Warner Brothers. We appreciate it.
I was hoping you were going to bring up like Red Dead Redemption or Mass Effect for things you would want to see adapted. But hey, you know, I think
Halo 5? I think Halo 5 might be the only actual answer because that's the only actual other game I play besides Rocket League, which is already on PC.
Well, there's already a Halo TV show. We discussed it on the show, on the podcast several times. Maybe Halo Season 2 would be better.
It has to be. Cortana took over the Master Chief, and now he doesn't speak anymore. So shut up, fans. Right. You got exactly what you fucking wanted. We're not going to see... Wait. So what's the gender of Master Chief now? I'm kidding. I'm not going there. It's not that podcast. Moving on to The Mandalorian.
Well, let's talk about South Park. Let's talk about something I've seen.
Speaking of dick and balls.
So this was an episode where basically Cartman swindles Butters yet again. And Butters is working. What is that, like a real law where they can hire like underage kids to work in ice cream shops or some businesses?
So you can't ever hire underage kids. In fact, there's been a real
because they were trying to
crackdown.
They were trying to say that it's up to the parent or something, but yeah, I don't
because like I think 14 is like the youngest you can get hired, and it might just be like for a summer camp or Chick-fil-A, right?
So that just happened, and like. A new state just passed a law where teenagers can start working at 14. But for most people, it's like 15. And in some states, I think it's actually like 16, really, before you can start working. But in the Midwest, there's been a lot of crackdowns. A lot of these meat manufacturing plants and stuff have been busted with like just
cooking teenagers.
It's not 100. Yeah, 10, 12, 13-year-olds like cutting up meat and stuff.
Oh, I thought the teenagers are being cut up and sold as meat. Okay, that's not as bad.
Jeez.
No, that's OnlyFans. That's called OnlyFans.
That's a snuff film. It sounds like. I don't know what you're watching.
I just look at it as a way to just get their characters to be part of the joke.
Yeah, absolutely. But also maybe send your I was watching a best of Parks and Recreation earlier today, right? And it was Ron Swanson. And Ron Swanson was talking about how he went to work in a factory when he was like 10 years old, and 6 weeks later he was like the shift lead or whatever, right? And he was just talking about how child labor laws were doing a disservice to kids. And you look at the kids today and you're like, oh, maybe you guys should be in like a meatpacking plant, right?
Yeah,
like let's put some sweat on that.
Well, I think working in an ice cream shop isn't as bad as a meatpacking plant.
Also, I'm completely fucking joking. You know who should be working in a meatpacking plant? Meatpackers.
So
that's
yes,
the awkward moment when I remembered who listens to podcasts and who subscribes and likes.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if this episode was like based off any like modern day. Nothing recent. Well, except like maybe like the work from home thing, and like you need like a mental health day. That's recent.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that. It wasn't like something that was like yeah. Same thing with like the Japanese toilet. That wasn't like a recent thing in the news. It's just something like I'm pretty sure.
Days have been around for a while.
I'm pretty sure Trey Parker just has Japanese toilet. He's just like, I should do an episode about this.
Can you? No. What I can imagine is that someone who works for South Park, right, asked for a mental health day, and he talked to his lawyers or talked to HR, and they're like, no, you should just give him a mental health day. And he was like, fine. But I'm going to make it awkward as fucking at work, and I'm going to write a whole episode making fun of this guy who took mental health.
Let's be real. Like, being a writer for a cartoon is probably the one job you can do, working at home pretty easily in Zoom. You know, have a Zoom meeting about...
Oh, my God. Maybe. When you're serving ice cream and you get on video.
Yes, that was so great. I'm gonna work from home. You're serving ice cream. You can't.
That is not a work from home job.
Yeah. Did he last 4 hours in that job? I don't think so.
Well, he was like 30 minutes into, or less than that. It was like 15 minutes into it.
I mean, he is quite literally the worst.
That's why he wound up homeless and without a job when he became an adult in that one episode. He just can't do work for more than 4 hours.
Oh my god! How about when his mind was blown picking up that hot dog?
Yeah. Why would they have
realization?
Why do they have hot dogs in the ice cream shop? That was weird.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Make some
Baskin.
Yeah, I was hoping
for those people that ask for food.
Even Baskin Robbins / Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have hot dogs.
No, but Dairy Queen does sell burgers.
Stuff that's related.
Yeah, does Dairy Queen sell hot dogs too? I haven't Dairy Queen
forever.
You sell burgers. You could sell hot dogs.
They sell burgers.
I never go to Dairy Queen.
You sell a burger, you sell a hot dog.
I think, I completely forgot Dairy Queen existed till now. I would much rather go to Baskin Robbins for ice cream.
What, you never had Dairy Queen for food? What'd you go to Dairy Queen for?
Ice cream. That's what it's for.
Ice cream. Would you say ice cream is food?
It's not like a meal. It's like dessert. It's not like an.
What do you think about the TSA recently qualifying peanut butter as a liquid? So you can't hold more than 3.4 ounces.
Well, I don't need peanut butter on a plane ride because I don't really like peanut butter.
Yeah, you're an asshole if you're eating peanut butter. If you're eating a peanut butter sandwich, or if you have 4 ounces of peanut butter, that's a pungent smell on an airplane for 4 hours.
Well, it's also going to clog.
Like
well, it could be good because you won't need to go to the bathroom because it'll clog you up. So. I heard a story about a guy
sticking in the wrong hole.
Well, I heard a story about a guy who ate a peanut butter sandwich every day for like 6 years, and they had to remove like a giant block of peanut butter from his colon.
Hey, you know what's the best thing about this story? I heard that story too, Forrest. I think
we were in the same class.
Yeah, and told us in the same class. His
that,
son ate 8 years, ate a peanut butter sandwich, not peanut butter jelly, a peanut butter sandwich every day for lunch for school for 8 years, and they had to take him to surgery and remove this ball of peanut butter from him.
Yep. So I don't make everything up on the show. I have someone to back me up.
I remember this. I have to believe this is false, but I haven't thought about that in literally 20 years.
Middle school.
Talking about it. Yeah, as soon as you started talking about it, I was like, oh, I knew exactly what story he's going.
I think that substitute was like watching porn too, or like one point, because like the sound went off. It's like, oh, what's this? Or something like there's like a really large black man who just like love peanut butter sandwiches. Oh, it's like the sound just started going on. He was doing something on the computer he wasn't supposed to. It might not. He was watching some sort of video that was like making him like, oh, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Speaking of middle school, I'm not going to name any names here, but we had a teacher of a different sexuality in a time where Obama wasn't quite okay with him getting married yet, right? And everyone made fun of this guy and called him gay and a pedophile. And I defended him the entire time, because he's gay, it doesn't mean he's a pedophile. Later, he gets teacher of the year. A couple years later, he becomes the principal. A couple years after that, he gets arrested for being a pedophile. So parents, watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay to be wary of people.
Yeah. And I know there's like a strings teacher who I think was accused of being a pedophile, but I think the kid was just an asshole and he was just making shit up. But they arrested him.
Oh, they found porn. They found porn in that guy's
the strings teacher? The strings teacher?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they did.
Who brings porn to work, dude? What? In your desk? Go jerk off in your car like a regular person. What are you doing in the middle of your classroom, weirdo?
That's what I think. Someone caught someone doing that in York Tech too.
I was thinking of grown-ups.
Yeah.
Or no, Hall Pass. Is it Hall Pass when the guy from Ozark gets caught jerking off in his van when the cop is trying to...
What, Jason Bateman?
Jason Bateman, yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, that's
a really funny
That's what they call him, Bateman.
Yeah, he puts the
Master Bateman.
Master Bateman. No, it's Jason Bateman.
Okay.
What if Jason Bateman was Batman and then Alfred would just call him Master Bateman?
Well, Christian Bale played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho.
That's true. Insert monologue about that song by Huey Loser and the Strangers.
I can't believe Major prefers Ben Affleck's bat suit to mine. Look at the cut of it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Look at the cut of it.
Ben Affleck is the greatest. He's such a good Batman. Like the Warner Bros. Make fucked up. The biggest tragedy in American movie history is losing Ben Affleck as Batman.
Well, he's playing Batman in The Flash, so
thank goodness someone win him back over. Anyways, Dick and Balls.
Yeah. So
anything else from this episode that I can barely remember from a week ago?
Well,
Cartman got his house back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
After he made his house
that's right.
Now, if only they could leave Tegrity Farms. I'm so sick of Tegrity Farms at this point. It's just they made Randy just so irritated.
It's become part of Randy. I don't mind it.
I mean, I don't think they're going to get rid of it, but I would prefer if they just went back to the house. I mean, it's nice that it's something different. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like on The Simpsons.
You know, if he loses his farm, it's going to be really funny how he loses his farm.
Oh, they're going to make an entire episode.
Exactly.
Or a Paramount Plus special.
Yeah. Or one of those hour-long episodes. It's like a little mini movie.
I still haven't seen like the part 2 of the P War, the streaming wars. I still need to watch that.
What is so controversial that is going on in like the mainstream media, right, or mainstream America right now?
Well, I think tonight's episode they're gonna reference Trump again, because Garrison is basically he's
Trump from South Park. Yeah.
So I think.
Who is DeSantis? Who would DeSantis? Who's DeSantis be?
I don't know who that is.
He's the governor from Florida and the main secondary contender to Trump.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Mr. Mackey. Although he's not. I think he's liberal though. On the show.
What if it was PC Principal?
PC Principal would not be Republican though. He's very far left. That wasn't making any sense.
What's the difference between far left and far right? It's the same views on like vaccines and.
I mean, I guess Jimbo, maybe Uncle Jimbo could probably be DeSantis. He's like the only, because he's pretty much a far right guy. Anyway,
they should bring back Chef just to piss everyone off. Just to watch the internet fucking lose their mind.
Get James Earl Jones to voice him. So, that'd be a good idea.
Get William Shatner. Get William Shatner to voice him. Just really like dig into it.
Was Stan Kyle in this episode at all? I think Kyle just told Cartman, "You won't last a job. You won't last in a job for 4 hours." And then I think it was just Cartman and Kenny for the rest of the episode.
Butters.
Has that guys ever happened to you? Have you guys ever recommended a friend for a job and then that friend was terrible at that job? Don't fucking.
I don't know. Tell me, Mage.
You tell me. I lasted longer than you, motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. You transferred out and I quit. So, I do appreciate my employment at the London Stock Exchange. But no, I'm thinking about, has that ever happened to you?
Well, I think Robbie, we were lifeguarding together, and Robbie was like playing music, and the guy, and whoever the receptionist was at the time, came and yelled at me instead of Robbie. He's like, "This is not a concert hall." I was like, "I'm not." I didn't like rat Robbie. I was like, "Okay, sorry." I think I just told her we got to turn the music off, but it was just kind of like, Robbie got me in trouble for something I didn't do. So that was kind of this, but I don't think like being a lifeguard was like the easiest job, because it's just like old people waist deep in water and like people who know swimming laps. I never had to jump in.
You never had to jump in?
No.
Never got wet.
Only time I had to jump in the pool was like a kid who was wearing a life jacket, just got freaked out and couldn't swim. I had to jump in and pull him out, but he was wearing a life jacket. So that's the closest I came to, I guess, rescuing somebody. He wasn't like in any danger. He was just freaked out.
There was one time I jumped in, but it wasn't something real serious.
Oh, okay.
But it was like
she was just really hot.
No, it was a kid.
Oh, no.
Sir, I need to check to see if you soiled yourself. Remove your trunks. Remember that Family Guy? He's like CPR certified. And he's just like, "Sir, I need to see if you soiled yourself." He starts taking the guy's pants off.
Oh no! What is this? Final Destination 3? Is that when he gets stuck in the pool and his insides get sucked out of his butthole because the action in the pool? It's really graphic. It's haunted me for for the rest of my life.
Final Destination. That's one of the interesting slasher movies where there's no slasher.
That's so good. There's so many good deaths in Final Destination. Like the scene where they're driving down the highway and there's like that 18-wheeler full of those just logs. There's rods of tree trunks of trees, right? And then like there's a car accident, so the 18-wheeler has to stop. And one of the trees comes out and it goes right through the other car and like just goes impales like the person right in the chest. And like ever since then, that's always been like a minor fear I've had on the highway. Whenever I see like one of those 18-wheelers with all the trees, I'm like, nope, not driving behind that car. No, thank you. But in college, I had a long-term girlfriend. I got her a job at the place I worked, and then we had.
How did she do? Did she get fired?
No, she did great. I mean, she wasn't as good as me, obviously. But she was good at her job. No performance issues whatsoever. But we broke up. Things were not super amicable. And then I started losing hours on my shift, and I was paying for college out of pocket, so it just mattered, right? Because like she didn't want to work like when I was working, and I was like, well, get a new fucking job, and that didn't happen. So fuck, don't get your friends jobs.
So
or get
the
your friends
office,
jobs, whatever.
The office lied to us. You shouldn't date coworkers. Is that what you're telling us? The office lied to us.
I would say don't shit where you eat. However,
so don't date coworkers.
I've heard some good advice about dating coworkers, but not in your immediate department, right? But I think more important. So I mostly agree with like don't shit where you eat. I do think there is something to be known about like work hubbies or work spouses, work wifeys, right? That's something like to just be cognizant or aware of, right? Because that person, like, you work with that person for 8 hours a day. You only see your significant other at home for like 3-4 hours, from 5 to 9 or 6 to 10 or whatever, if you're lucky, half an hour in the morning, whatever. So, that's something to be aware of too. I wasn't going anywhere with that, but just, things I've listened to on better podcasts than this that I would
Impossible.
Impossible. I agree. You know what else is impossible? How to beat this episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
This episode was so good.
All right, going on.
I did take notes of the last episode. If you want to just run through what happened real quick.
Yeah, I took
because you already talked about it.
Did Jar Jar Binks come back?
But we didn't watch it last episode.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, you want to run through it?
Yeah, what do I have out here? Good. So yeah, there was the Grogu versus a kid in the dart battle. It was training darts. They're basically like paintballs.
Yeah,
nice.
Star Wars paintball.
Grogu hopped around him and got him on the
how bad did that flip look? That flip looked so stupid. Right?
But are you glad they went with the puppet way versus CGI?
You see the string?
I don't know. Like, hey, just live within your confines. Like, shoot it that way, and then look at it and be like, "Oh, that looks terrible. Maybe we should do that."
You could see the puppeteer's arm under Grogu.
That would be hilarious. I would love to see that.
Just Jon Favreau's fat, hairy arm.
Well, they are getting him to like walk around and stuff now. Before he
needs longer legs,
floated around or being carried.
He looks great.
He needs like Kermit legs to walk around. Kermit has his long green legs.
Hey, maybe he's got long legs. You don't know. It's all covered up under that potato sack. Maybe he's got like 2 inches of torso and then just 10 inches of legs underneath that.
Doesn't look like their species gets
Grogu's dick is only an inch long from the ground.
That's his real lightsaber.
Yeah.
So then they had that dragon came in, grabbed the kid, and flew away. Like it was almost like he just planned that, or he just yoinked through the first meal that he could and flew away.
Yoink.
But you know what I was thinking the entire time was like all this planning and like camping and getting there. Like he totally could have eaten this kid by now.
Right.
But they get there in the nick of time as he's
the plot has to happen.
Spit up the kid. Was the kid like inside the dragon the whole time?
Yeah,
like,
I think the whole time. You know, hey, we saw in the book of Boba Fett that Beskar armor is so good you can live inside of a Sarlacc for
but
while,
only he has Beskar armor. All have other armor. They all have different armors. Or they all Beskar.
Oh, good point. Good point.
So
how did that little kid survive?
Isn't it Beskar
plot armor?
The silver stuff that he has? Yeah, that's Beskar basically plot armor. Or was it a different type of material?
You know, I think you're right. I think the Beskar is like the stainless steel. For some reason, I had started lying to myself.
Everyone else
just
has
all
general armor.
Yeah, I was lying to myself saying they all had Beskar armor and they were just painting it. But no, you're right. It's the Beskar is the shiny stainless steel, the chrome.
Yeah, that Grogu has now a little like circular chest.
Yo, Flava Flav. It's so funny looking. It's such a giant medallion.
He's a giant cloth.
What if like this
helmet?
entire time he like never understood anyone's word? He's just kind of looking around like, whoa, cool, yeah.
What if this entire time he was walking around with an erection and just no one knew? What if Grogu was a perv?
Yeah, so
he is like 90 years old, isn't he?
I told you I'm leaning into the bit, guys.
He's a pervy old man.
So yeah, it goes to
if he was
Grogu.
90, he would be that's 90 was about the age that Yoda was when he became a Jedi Master. So Grogu's about 50-ish, 52, 53 now.
Yeah, he should not be an infant, or he should like at least have the wisdom.
And they keep saying you are too young. You need another 50.
Well, time's
what
relative,
he means
right?
is you are too small. You are too small.
Yeah. So yeah, the Grogu was having a vision from the past again. They had that dual wielding Jedi helped him out.
Yeah, Ahmad Best, Jar Jar Binks,
Kelleran Beck. I'll put his name down.
Guess who's back? Back again. Jar Jar.
Kelleran Beck. Tell a friend.
It's a sin.
Oh, and then the next thing I put down. We see the Mandalorian's way of eating. I've always wondered that. Having to wear their helmet.
They just like push it up a little bit.
Slurp
all the time.
Yeah,
that's what I thought, but apparently they're lenient on that because they basically all split up to take their helmet off and eat.
Just go in the corner. Don't look at anyone else.
Well, they had to. Like,
I thought the rule was like you're not allowed to ever take your helmet off. But I think.
No, I mean they got to shave because all the men would have.
Off.
All the men would have ZZ Top beards if they didn't like take it off to shave. So
you can shave in private.
Oh yeah, they would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like if they never took off their helmet, they couldn't shave. And
yeah, we saw
just never be seen taking.
They'd all have like Gandalf beards.
The question is, do they have sex with their helmets on?
Yeah.
Well, they never have sex, so they just kidnap kids, right?
You don't know that they never have sex. They're not priests. They're
very religious.
They're the Dark Watch.
Yeah. So then the next scene they go into they're climbing that cliff, and one of my thoughts was like, how much that mission would suck for that heavy guy.
Yeah, Jon Favreau.
The guy with the heavy armor. And
why are they
gun? And
why are they climbing a cliff if they have jetpacks?
Oh, because the dragon would hear him coming.
They have to be quiet. Yeah, they gotta be stealthy, bro. Oh, can't be coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have the three little dragon babies they find in the nest.
And steel.
Hey, there's a heat signature over there. Oh, better go run over there. And then it's those dragon babies, whatever that
species is.
Smog juniors.
And of course the mom comes and spits up the kid.
Yeah.
But the guy in the heavy armor is the dad of the kid.
I was gonna say, whose kid is he?
I don't know his name. I just call him the heavy all the time.
The heavy.
Yeah. I call him Jon Favreau.
So
yeah, they save him. There's this big battle, big air battle too. They refueled their jetpacks.
Nice. So it was pretty
and
good.
And then they knock down the dragon, giant sea creature eats the dragon. They save the kid.
Nice.
Oh, and then what did they bring back with them? Seen that?
Babies.
Yeah, they
Triplets.
I guess they're gonna raise those baby dragons into their own
To fight off
Yeah.
future dragon attacks.
Spoiler alert: they
be able
do
to
not
ride
show up in
around.
the next episode.
No.
They do not show up at all. But that would be really cool.
And what's her name? Tells the armorer about seeing the mythosaur.
Oh, Bo-Katan. I'm gonna call her Boko.
Boko.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, I like how
because you could tell that that's been bugging her, and she hasn't told anybody so far except the armorer.
And then the armorer just was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, that's a legend
Sure, you saw
we all
it.
go for."
We all have visions.
But I think she started to understand that she really saw.
So,
it. She's
wait.
been wondering about this.
The armor literally saw a giant alligator turtle kill several Mandalorians, and she's going to be like unbelieving that there's another giant monster underneath the planet she hasn't been to.
Just because you see an elephant doesn't mean you believe there's a woolly mammoth walking around.
Yeah, she puts the mythosaur armor on her missing piece that she lost in that battle with the dragon.
Which, jumping ahead to the next episode, right? Boko is representing both sides of the Mandalorians, right? So she's got her regular side and her previous side, or her previous side and the new side, right? With the mythosaur representing both sides. I was like, very nice. I see what you're doing there. That's what we like to call
and then
writing.
I do like how they led that. You're right. How they led that into the next episode.
Well, it's sort of like shirts and, it's sort of like shirts and skins with Mandalorians. Those who keep their helmets on and those who take them off.
Yeah, how the armorer asked her to take her helmet off, and you could tell she's been getting back into things because she just really wasn't sure about taking her helmet.
Yo, my wife was like, "Don't do it, it's a trap," and I like looked over her. Dude, she was so invested in it, and I was just like, "What?" And I
think that was crossing her mind. Like, is this a test? Or like,
Dude, I looked over her and I was like, "I think
it's coming straight from the armorer." And she seems
I looked over at my wife and I was like, "Yo, you think they're about to fuck? Take your helmet off."
And
then she goes, "What? No." And I go, "Of course
the armor,
not. It's a Disney show."
But what if like they did, and like, but the armor keeps the same tone of voice the entire time?
That would be keeps the hammer, but uses it as a toy.
Anyway, so what happened in the pirate episode?
Can we keep going?
Back to the actual episode.
Oh, but I have so many jokes about having a dark saber. All right, moving back to the pirates. All right, so for the season 3, episode 5.
Every time they go to the captain, I'm like, this is so Disney-ish of a captain.
Oh, the Swamp Thing captain?
No, Captain.
Or the pirate captain.
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
Oh no, the pirate. Yeah, the pirate.
The seaweed.
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
Yes, he looks terrible, right? Fucking the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie looked
like
better.
It's not
and
the
that was 10
it's
bloody
not
years
the
ago.
1800s. You're just taking an 1800s pirate and putting him in a spaceship.
All right. Well, first off, I love.
They even have the wheel. Episode. The wheel, like an old.
No, I love that. I'll defend that. I love it. That's one of my favorite things about Star Wars.
I'll accept the wheel. Like...
The wheel is cool, right? His costume sucked, right? We'll talk about this. We see Zeb in the episode. He looked fan-fucking-tastic, right? This Pirate King, this garbage pile of
talking about
seaweed.
Talking about the one who was always in the fighter after.
No,
Mando.
So the one always in the fighter, the X-wing. That's Captain T.
No, not the X-wing. I thought you were talking about one of the pirates. How they look.
Oh no, not the pirates. No. And for this episode,
I'm so bad with some of their names.
We're gonna call the pirate ships, not the big one, the Corsair, the smaller ships. We're gonna call those snub fighters. That's what the subtitles call them. Yeah. So I do not to get ahead of ourselves, but the fact that the last snub fighter pilot fucking dipped out.
Are they piloted by stuck-up girls?
Yeah, it's jumping right to the end there.
It's Lindsay Lohan in the cast of Mean Girls.
Yeah. We kind of skipped over.
Or they won't.
How they're
nominate you for an Oscar, Mage.
how the dude's looking for help.
Oh, that's a good one.
From the New Republic, pirates coming after their city.
Oh, let's start at the beginning, right? So we open up on Navarro. Let's start at the beginning. We open up on Navarro, where the pirates from the last episode have returned, right? And they start attacking Navarro.
Yeah, all from the guys who wanted to drink at what used to be their bar.
One, show no mercy. But two, oh my gosh, right? It's kind of easy. If these wanker pirates can get this grade A Corsair like Star Destroyer, right? And like just like lay wreck on like a whole town, a city,
they have
a planet. If they have no,
was their ship just too big?
Exactly. Like, it's just so easy. It would be so easy if like you didn't have like
they just straight up evacuated, didn't even try to fight.
They didn't have any defenses, right? And
that's probably why they came and picked on them. They knew they'd be an easy target.
Yeah, seems like
and they're an independent.
Exactly. They're not under like the Republic. Like I love.
They're not under anyone's.
This man's over here complaining or worried about not having enough trains, bro. You need some defense. Have you never played Command and Conquer? You need additional pylons, but you also need some fucking defenses, bro.
Mix a little StarCraft in there.
Yeah, right. So speaking of old school callback, the droid that comes and warns Grief Cargo, that's like the original design of like C-3PO. So that was like a really nice nod. There's a lot of like nice subtle nods to like fanfare and like hardcore Star Wars nerds this episode. I was really
haven't watched a breakdown yet. Did they get into that?
Oh yeah, dude. No, watch out like Screen Crush. The heavy spoilers. What New Rock Stars, Emergency Awesome.
Yeah,
right?
New Rock Stars and.
I say New Rock Stars and Screen Crush probably the best.
Those are the main two that I've watched.
Yeah, if you
one with the dog, it looks like he's at a
Blockbuster. Yeah. If you are a big fan of puns and terrible dad jokes, Heavy Spoilers is a fantastic YouTube channel. I would highly recommend checking them out. He tries to put out content daily, and it's been pretty good. I don't know what he'll do after the whole, when this shit's over, when Disney's not putting out Marvel or Star Wars content every day. I don't know, but we'll find something to watch about. Oh, speaking of Ryan Airy, from Screen Crush, in his breakdown, he pointed out that the Corsair pirate ship that we see in this episode first made its debut in a Thrawn novel, which we've pretty much hinted at all season long is going to be the main baddie this season, right? So I like going back to like just all the subtle hints and acts of love that the screenwriter and director put into this episode. For the Star Wars fans, the people who have been loving this franchise for 45 years, like I think that was really cool. It was a very well done episode.
Oh, dude, the game Star Citizen, they got ships on that level, and you can actually walk around inside them and control them and stuff. It's pretty badass with a group of people.
Yeah.
Just tossing that.
Yeah. Very stealthily there. Nice. So me and Rob saw John Wick 4.
Just made me think of that.
So Rob,
because we were talking about the ship.
I love spaceships. I like the segue. It wasn't clean, but it was clever. It was good. I'll take it.
All right, so John Wick 4. We saw it this past weekend.
Oh,
and
are we just? Is that it? Or we're just done with?
Yeah. I
very clever.
Started.
Great.
Wait, Forrest, have you seen this episode?
Well, I said we were talking about John Wick 4 at the start of the episode, so I'm just cashing in on the promise I made to the listeners.
All right. Well, in that case, tune in next week for Mandalorian season 3, episode 5, part 2, and season 3, episode 6.
Yeah, I'm looking for. There's 3 more episodes left.
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
I'm really into it.
What I'm into is Keanu Reeves being as badass and anti-political as possible.
Yeah.
This was a great
might have
movie.
come out recently that
that
might have piqued my interest. You guys
in John Wick 4?
Oh, John Wick 4? That sounds interesting. What's John Wick 4 about?
So basically, I haven't seen John Wick 2 and 3, so I was a little lost. So basically, John Wick is being hunted.
Yeah, there was a lot.
John Wick is being hunted by
what
the high
happened to his
table.
dog?
I already knew that, but it was
Is that
nice.
like the high chair, but it grew up?
Yeah. So the high table is trying to kill John Wick, and he doesn't want to be killed for some reason.
Some reason. Couldn't imagine why.
And so he has to go bother
his freedom.
He has to go bother his Japanese friend, and he gets his Japanese friend killed. And then there's a guy called Mr. Nobody who tries to kill him, who also has a dog, which is important later in the movie. And then where does he go after the Japanese place? Does he go to after
he's
Japan?
He's like a friend.
Does he go to Berlin?
After Japan.
I think he goes to Berlin, and then he fights a guy in a fat suit. And then he goes to Paris, and there's like this really
a lot of fetch quests.
Well, the first fetch quest is he's just talking with his friend, and he's trying. I think he's just hiding out with his friend. Then the next fetch quest is he has to get a family, like a crime family's sponsorship. So he has to kill a gangster called Killa, Killa, which is just a guy in a fat suit. So he kills the guy in the fat suit, and then he has to go. The guy who's trying to kill John Wick is called the Marquis, and John Wick finds out there's a loophole in high table laws, plot device here, that he can challenge the Marquis to a duel, and if he wins the duel, then everything's fixed. he gets his freedom. Winston gets. Oh yeah, the hotel gets blown up, and this is sort of bad timing, but Lance Reddick's character is killed in this movie, like at the very beginning. It was like, ooh, bad timing there. So, they blow up the hotel. There's like a really
bad timing.
Lance Reddick died in real life.
Oh no, that sounds like very bad timing.
So, So anyway, the Marquis accepts the duel, but the Marquis like sort of rigs the duel by like basically hiring every assassin in Paris to kill John Wick.
To go after him.
And there's this really long stair sequence. Well, there's already like three big action sequences before the stair scene. There's one like on the streets of Paris.
I did like the overhead view one.
Oh, that was
he's going from room to room.
But it's just like it's already like half an hour into the action.
Yeah,
it's literally
after a while you are like, okay.
It's like a 45-minute extended action sequence, and there's already been like 2 other half-hour action sequences
him
before
going
this.
from like
It's literally
there
that
was
long.
him in the cars.
No, at first it was him on the streets in front of a cafe, then he goes to the Arc de Triomphe, and he's literally fighting assassins while dodging traffic, and then he goes.
That's like having an erection for too long. At first, you're like, "This is awesome," and then you're like, "This is exhausting."
People were really complaining by the time the stairs was like, "Just get up the stairs," and he stepped the stairs.
God.
They knock him down.
And then the guy
he
kicks
falls
him down, and they have this long scene of him rolling all the way down.
All down 200 steps, and we've already seen him. And they climb. Then he climbs up all 200 steps again.
Go all the way back.
And you're just like, gosh.
My God.
But then he
when he gets to the end, we're like, all right, let's just get this.
All right, get the church.
With.
And the guy kicks him down. It's like, oh no! Everyone in the theater is just like, oh my gosh.
It is. This movie is 2 hours and 43 minutes long.
Yeah, it's almost 3 hours long.
It's almost 3 hours. That was my main gripe with it. Was too long.
You just heard the entire audience in the movie theater just go like, oh, and just kick down the stairs. So he finally gets to the church. He gets there just in time. And I just thought, like, what if there wasn't any assassins trying to kill him? He would have gotten there like 2 hours early. Good thing
they wanted to make because they set the terms as sunrise, so they basically wanted to make sure he didn't get to that point by sunrise.
Yeah, because the Marquis doesn't want to fight him
on the way.
So basically,
it's
the
like
Marquis,
when you order a pizza that's free if it takes more than 30 minutes and you time it just right with the railroad tracks on the route to your house.
So they can't get that time.
That's just if you're a giant dick, and you can't, or you can't afford like a $10 pizza or a $3 delivery fee. So that is smart. That's why.
Hooray, math!
I don't think Domino's does 30 minutes or less.
I don't think anyone does
because of that.
I don't know if anyone does that now.
There could be.
There's so many dicks out there.
You could just get. Oh, you don't have to be smart anymore. You can just get ChatGPT to map out a location.
When should I order my
address?
pizza?
Yeah, exactly. To match this train or whatever.
It's not. So he gets to the church right in time for sundown, and the Marquis has Donnie Yen, who is like the assassin hired to kill John Wick, but he doesn't.
It was a smart little duel how they
basically like
made it happen.
Yeah, like Donnie Yen and John Wick are friends, but Donnie Yen has to kill John Wick because the Marquis will kill his daughter if he doesn't.
Yeah, so like it's like 30 paces out, like your classic duel. Your single shot handheld pistol. And
they both hit each other, but they're both still alive. And in 20 paces, they hit each other again. And then it's 10 paces.
They both hit each other.
And Donnie Yen hits John Wick.
Yeah, he hits John first.
And then the Marquis thinks that John Wick, and he's just like, oh wait, no, he shoots him on the second one because the 10 pace one, that's when the Marquis wants to shoot him, right?
Yeah, and he shot John first, so John didn't fire. He just went down.
But it was kind of just like Winston was just like, "You arrogant asshole! He didn't shoot."
So
but he could have shot in that entire time Winston was talking. You arrogant! Kills John Wick right there. Like,
wait, are you telling me that
he grabbed the pistol to finish John himself?
Didn't hit each other in midair?
No, they didn't do that.
Well, I guess the reason why he has
that shows a lot of restraint. Right? Like, just acknowledge that for a second. That shows a lot of restraint from the director to put Keanu Reeves in a duel and not have two bullets smash into each other.
Or even limbo to dodge them.
Well, in big spoiler.
Yeah, or bullet time.
Big spoiler what happens with John in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happens with John in the end there?
There is no John. Or is there?
Oh my god, he doesn't dodge the bullet?
He didn't dodge any of the bullets, but
he got shot twice.
Neither did Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen didn't either. He still lived. Or did he? There's an after credit scene.
Yeah, we were talking about there's an after credit scene, and we were saying, what if the after credit was like
John's hand coming out of the grave?
Yeah, because they do a funeral and everything. Because actually, before the huge long fight scene, he said to put on his gravestone, "Loving husband,"
or a time.
So they did. So they did, and you see why, because they show his wife's grave that he got buried next to that said "loving wife."
Yeah.
Aww.
Loving husband and loving wife.
So, but I think Keanu Reeves says,
and it says "loving dog" next to it.
But they could easily just say like they just faked his death in case the High Table decided to go after him again. But I think they just.
I think they're trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think Keanu Reeves said he's taking a break from the role because they made these movies like back to back, right? And he's literally like doing the stunts, I think, or like, he's like literally doing the choreography.
He like learned how to fight and how to. He got trained properly on all the weapons.
Tom Cruise is like 75 and he's still jumping out of airplanes.
I think Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise are the same age. I mean, I think they're both in their 50s.
They both look fantastic.
Tom might have like 3 more years on Keanu, but they're both like in their 50s. They're both
look at him through the years. It's like he doesn't age.
Neither of them, dude. Yeah.
He really did not have a lot.
Keanu just grew his hair out.
Yeah, he really baby blood. He only had like maybe like what 4 lines in this movie. No, not really.
Well, he did have I think what's so funny is like
put loving husband.
The most talking he did was when he was being strangled.
Oh yeah. What did he say again?
That's incredible.
My name is Klaus.
Elaborate on that?
Yeah, he really did not say much the entire movie.
The movie's like literally 80% action scenes and like maybe like 20% dialogue and plot.
I'd say the entire first half of the movie was just talking with because like the Osaka scene was pretty early in the movie. That's maybe 15 minutes in when the action started. Yeah, I guess there was
but I think like most of like the dialogue and the plot was with Winston and the Marquis.
Besides the one at the Japanese place.
Well, no, there was the one in the German club. Remember? Well, they had that Russian. What did they? They're playing poker.
Yeah, they were playing cards.
So I guess that wasn't really a big.
He was like, "Let me guess, 5 of a kind."
and the fat guy had, I guess, the royal flush or the whatever the best one is. Royal flush, right? So yeah, this is enjoyable. I need to watch. I wish I had seen the second, third one for this one, but
not as good as
the third one's not very good, and the second one's pretty great.
Well, I think I mean, the first one was, I think, really good. I mean, it was something amazing. It's just a nice action movie. But I know like the second and third one like sort of expand the world, but they're doing like a spin-off called Ballerina. And another one called The Continental. So they're still doing like John Wick movies set in the John Wick universe, but so he might cameo
John Wick.
Yeah, I mean it's like
unless it's flashback stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like the new Fast and Furious. It's just like the new action franchise that everyone goes to see, but
where they're just doing ridiculous stunts and fast.
Yeah,
is that what we need? Like with superhero movies dying?
Well, they just
we need a new genre for America to flock towards. Like, is that?
Well, like the Fast and Furious movies are just like, let's get this famous actor to be the villain this time. Like last time it was The Rock. Now it's Jason Momoa. I'm missing a few.
Yeah,
I skipped like 5.
Like
I haven't watched
Kurt Russell, I think, was one of them.
A long time on it.
Charlize Theron, I think.
I've only seen the first one.
Jason Statham. Jason Statham was a bad guy. So just like who's ever like a popular action star, they'll make the bad guy in the new Fast and Furious.
Was he Shaw and or Hobbs? Because I saw Shaw and Hobbs.
Yeah, because Shaw was like the bad guy in like the 6th one or the 7th one, and then it was.
I love how they're
Charlize
the same
Theron.
person. Just one's British, but they both hate each other. It's like just.
They're both bald and.
Whatever. I love it. Jason Statham and The Rock, dude. I'd watch them like in anything. I'd watch.
Had Idris Elba in it too.
Yeah, Idris Elba was great, and his motorcycle bike, his best friend, his motorcycle.
Yeah. What do you think Idris Elba would have been good at, like any other superhero role besides Heimdall? Superhero role.
Yeah, but he was a good Heimdall. I think he would make a great James Bond. I think he might be a little old if you're trying to start a new franchise, but give a Black James Bond 3 movies. Let's do it.
I was thinking like Luke Cage or
Mike
Coulter,
who played Mike Coulter, was already a perfect Luke Cage. Like Marvel, Kevin Feige is sleeping and dumb. If they don't keep Mike Coulter as like Luke Cage, then like hashtag that's my Luke Cage.
Yeah, I really like the second season of Luke Cage.
Yeah,
I mean, I like the first.
It was so good. Like nothing
was
as good as like Netflix Daredevil, but Luke Cage on Netflix's Luke Cage was amazing.
Well, Jessica Jones was the first season was really good too, and
the
first
Purple
season,
Man. I would love to see the Purple Man.
Well, now he can come back and be in Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah,
because he's traditionally a Daredevil villain. But I'm hoping I think it's just gonna be Kingpin and hopefully they'll have like some other villains.
Are they just gonna is Marvel over? It's just gonna be just lame shit from now on.
That's what I'm afraid. I mean, hopefully Daredevil will be really, really good. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Do you think so? After his Walk of Shame and She-Hulk,
that was like a really shitty writer was in charge of him, and like they basically had to put Daredevil in it because they wanted to bring him in the MCU.
Right,
and
but like, aren't there gatekeepers?
Well, She-Hulk's
Isn't there
a lawyer, so they had to have
Daredevil who says no?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't think the She-Hulk writers had anything to do with the Daredevil show. So I'm slightly optimistic. But yeah, you're right. It could be awful.
Let's do it. Let's be optimistic. I'm back on board. Let's go, baby. Marvel 2024.
I guess so. But yeah, there's nothing really like superhero related looking forward to besides Daredevil.
And the Flash.
Except maybe like the Batman 2 with Matt Reeves. So, no.
Are you looking forward to the Joker too? It's gonna be a musical. My wife was like, and I quote, "That sounds terrible."
We'll see. Everyone thought the first Joker movie was gonna be. Everyone thought the first Joker was gonna be terrible. And
how great was it? Was it?
Well, everyone was just amazing? Like the guy who directed The Hangover is gonna do a solo Joker movie without Batman.
Yeah.
After the character after we already had like 2 iterations of the Joker in the movies in the past 10 years.
Right. So we get super skinny Joker dancing in his tidy whities, and then he climbs into a refrigerator, and we're not sure if the rest of the movie even fucking happens.
Well, it seems like
that's why I want my Batman movies.
Well, it seems like the first Joker movie was based off of the King of Comedy with Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver a little bit.
You know what'd be really fucking cool? check this out. This is gonna blow your mind. I know this is a radical idea. It's probably gonna be canceled. What if they base a Joker movie off of a Joker comic?
Well, I think they're gonna adapt Mad Love, I think, but I think they're also gonna use One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as inspiration because I think it's gonna take place in Arkham Asylum. So I mean,
everyone loves the CIA putting people on LSD and making them write novels.
Oh, is that what they did with Ken Casey?
With One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I imagine that's what they're gonna pull from to like as inspiration because they're like, well, we took King of Comedy and Taxi Driver and that did really well. We'll just rip off One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So
are you looking forward to Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn?
I guess. I mean, didn't she win an Oscar for the Star is Born movie? Or she got nominated,
I hated Star is Born. But that was just me and my personal problems. I didn't like seeing Bradley Cooper.
You weren't excited.
Drunk, he pissed his pants.
You weren't excited.
Call that great acting.
You tell me you weren't excited to see a remake of a Barbra Streisand movie? What is wrong with you?
A Star is Born has been remade like 8 fucking times.
I thought it was like the third time they made it. Yeah,
it's been remade a lot.
Wasn't the first one with Judy Garland? But I think the most recent one before the Lady Gaga was Barbra Streisand, right?
Perhaps. I don't care about the most recent movie. I definitely don't care about the previous iterations.
It's just like one of those movies what's going to happen.
Was the first Batman in the movies.
Well, no, the first Batman was...
That's the movie history I can tell you about.
The first Batman was a guy in the serials, but those were shown in movie theaters because it's before TV.
That's before television. Yeah, that's a slightly different... That's a...
But it was in movie theaters, so... I wouldn't say Adam West was the first. Adam West is the first one everyone remembers. It was a serial.
Was it a movie?
It's a serial.
Movie is defined as being over 91 minutes long.
Well, altogether, it's like 4 hours. All the serial.
It's a serial. So didn't you just watch like 20 minutes at a time, or did you like what happened? What do you mean like it's a serial? I don't remember the 1920s.
The argument was who was the first Batman people saw in a movie theater, and it was the guy from
the serials. No, not a movie theater. I say in the movies.
The first Batman movie was with Adam West, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, not a movie theater in the movies.
Weird phrasing, but weird phrasing. Say the first actor to play Batman in a movie was Adam West, but the first actor to play Batman that were seen by people in a movie theater was the guy from the serials, whose name I can't remember. But you have the computer in front of you. What's his name?
Ike Perlmutter. Oh,
really? Wow.
Last person I googled.
So who's the first actor to play Batman? Basically, like all the villains in the Adam West show were the first actors to play villains.
Okay. So first actor to play Batman, according to Google, is Christian Bale.
Okay.
Google. Like I literally Googled this in. I'll send it in. You can tweet it out. This is the worst response.
Google has
Bruce Wilson was the first and youngest age 23 actor to play Batman in live action.
His name was Bruce Wilson. Wayne. You said Bruce Wilson?
Lewis Wilson.
Oh, Lewis Wilson. I was just like, wow, how serendipitous. And was he gay?
He appears as Bruce Wayne and Batman in the 1943 movie.
That was funny. Batman. I get that. That's the Hulk. That's a Hulk.
Yeah, but if his name was Bruce Wilson, that makes sense. But that's Lewis Wilson. Okay. I think the first guy to play Superman was Kirk Allen. I think he also played the serials.
Oh, this is a good-looking Batman here.
I think it was like a bodybuilder, but yeah, I think like they didn't have any of the classic villains in the serials.
I didn't. Robert Lowry in Batman the Robin has the worst
mask,
bat ears. Yeah, bat ears.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's bad.
The serials were made on like very tight buttons.
What about Adam West's eyebrows though? Like the eyebrows on the mask.
Oh, that are just drawn on.
That's so random.
As bad as the costume is, you can see his junk already. Do you have to like humiliate him anymore? I think he's like, why couldn't I have been on Green Hornet?
I think we should see more of Batman's junk, right? Like I think we have the bat nips. We should have like a bat, like what do the football players wear? Jock strap. You should wear you should have a bat strap.
There was a comic, I think like it was called
Bat. Family Jewels.
Yeah, there was like a comic I think drawn by
Pearls. There you
go.
Because it was you get it,
like
the pearls. You get it.
Yeah. It was called Batman Noel. I think Lee Bermejo drew it, and I think he actually drew a naked Bruce Wayne. You can see his ding dong in the comic.
Are you talking about,
big stir.
Yeah, talking about the first episode, the first first issue of the Batman Rated R, Batman Dark.
Yeah, I guess
Batman,
it was like a new
Batman
imprint.
After Night.
Like not Batman. DC Black, I think, right? Was that?
Yeah, DC Black. That's it. Yeah, see Batman's dong, and they immediate backlash, and they immediately
get rid of the imprint.
Got rid of it on the digital comic.
DC does not follow through with any of their their edgy imprints or their non-continuity imprints. Like there's one called DC Earth 1. They made a few graphic novels. It was basically the ultimate version of what Marvel did with the Ultimate Universe. It was sort of their idea. So they did Superman, they did Wonder Woman, they did Batman. And then the thing was they rebooted the DC Universe continuity twice when they started making Earth 1, because they did New 52 and then they did DC Rebirth. So it was they completely there's no reason to make Earth.
And
1
then it's
anymore.
we're gonna reboot some, but Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman's gonna stay the same. So good luck trying to keep up with continuity. Look, I want to be on board with you, Forrest. Right, a big part of me wants to be let's see some Bat Dong. Right, let's get raunchy. Let's do it, right? But then I remember the Killing Joke where Batgirl and Batman have sex, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe I don't want to see that.
That wasn't in the comic. That wasn't in the comic. That was only in Bruce Timm.
Okay, so you're okay with these as long as it's in the comic first before it goes on to the big.
Well, they didn't have sex in the comic though. That's something that.
That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you if they had sex in the comic, would you now be okay with it, or are you just not okay with Batgirl and Batman having sex?
Well, let's think about this. Alan Moore had Joker shoot Barbara Gordon in the spine, then undress her and take pictures of her. So she pretty much was already violated either way. Before in the cartoon, he's just violated by Batman.
Okay. For the record, for people who haven't seen The Killing Joke, which is what movie we're talking about, Batman does not violate Batgirl. It's very consensual sex. If anything, Batgirl will.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Batman.
Wrong wording. Penetrate.
Okay, penetration. Yeah.
But I think Alan Moore, today he's I sort of regret writing that, because I think I realized that this character was created for children. In the 40s. And he was just I think I went overboard with that one.
Dude, Alan Moore is such a piece of shit sometimes. He's a brilliant creator. But with all brilliant creators, he's super fucked up in the head sometimes.
Wait, did you say he was a piece of shit?
I mean, sometimes.
You gotta understand.
He says some
industry,
very bad things.
The guys who are in the comic industry are even bigger pieces of shit. I mean,
yes.
They have fucked over so many writers and artists.
The comic industry dicked down people for sure. I was more so talking about
his personal
beliefs,
and he was working at a time
professional beliefs.
But so he kind of everything. All the shit he talks about the comic industry is 100% spot on.
I 100% applaud Alan Moore on his professional stances. How he kind of. I love how stubborn he is. He'll never watch Zack Snyder created The Watchmen, and Zack Snyder famously once said in an interview, I like to imagine one day Alan Moore on a cold rainy day will put my movie in and watch it and think to himself, hey, that's not that bad. And to it, after that, in another interview, Alan Moore said that's never going to happen.
Well, no, I think Zack Snyder said, I hope he watches it one day on a rainy day in London. And Alan Moore was like, I live in Northampton, you fucking cunt.
Something like that, yeah. But it's it's a fact. I'll never watch that shit.
Yeah, he hasn't seen V for Vendetta, League of
Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think that's great. Absolutely one. Fuck, don't you love your content? Don't give a shit what Hollywood does to it and how it bastardizes.
Well, he gives all the money.
However, here's the thing, too. If you sell your content, shut the fuck up and don't complain about what happens to it after you sell it.
Well, he said they were going to give him the rights to Watchmen. I think we discussed this before, but he signed a contract where they were going to give him the rights to Watchmen, and then they just swindled him and said, no, we're not going to give it to you because it says in the contract that we will only give you the rights when we stop printing the book, and we haven't stopped printing the book. So,
it just sounds like he needs a better lawyer. It sounds like he needs to be a better reader and less of a better writer.
Yeah.
No.
But I think
Marvel
he gives all
their writers and creators forever.
He doesn't want his name on any of the adaptations of his
Oh
work.
yeah,
and he gives all the money. He gives all the money to the artists. So
good. That's awesome. Good for Alan Moore.
So yeah, I think I started rereading his run on Swamp Thing. I never finished it. It's probably the one thing of his I haven't like read.
Much like the DC.
There's actually a lot of
never
stuff
finished
I've
it.
read. I've seen. Oh yeah, I started Swamp Thing. It's really good so far. Because it's basically
the second episode into it.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of quality.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Taxes.
But it was heavily based off Alan Moore's run. So I need to finish reading that. But yeah, I mean, I've read like most of his big stuff, like Watchmen, V for Vendetta, From Hell, which is it's probably his best thing he's written is From Hell.
When's that
top
coming to movies?
Well, they already made it with Johnny Depp, but it was really shitty. So I think like HBO should do like a mini series based on From Hell, and they should get to play Jack the Ripper.
Who?
Dumbledore. He looks just like the way Jack the Ripper's drawn in the comic looks just like Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon or Albert Finney would be good too. Just like an old fat British guy with white hair would be good. Because in the comic, Alan Moore's theory is that William Gull, who was like the royal doctor, was Jack the Ripper because he was killing the prostitutes because they knew about her grandson's illegitimate son with one of them. So it was like a Freemason conspiracy.
Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although I think it's probably been disproven by Jack the Ripper scholars. So. But yeah, he also had another comic called Top 10 that was really good. It's like basically like a city where everyone's a superhero.
Oh, I have heard about this. I heard it's really good, right? Like Top 10 is really good.
And I took a comic writing class, and the artist for Top 10 was actually like a guest. And
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Yeah, so it's a really great comic. He only wrote like I think 8 issues or 10 issues. But yeah, it's definitely one of his. I think it's like under the Wildstorm under DC, so that's probably why he didn't stick around with it. But yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, read those. He basically tried to make it League of Extraordinary Gentlemen as unadaptable as possible because he has the Invisible Man. He had the Invisible Man get raped by Mr. Hyde in the second volume.
Well, and the movie definitely did not pan out.
And then in the sequel to that called Century, he has like Harry Potter as the Antichrist, and he kills Alan Quatermain by shooting a lightning bolt out of his dick. So it's like Alan Moore's like, I'm gonna make this as unadaptable as possible. So they never ever try to make a movie out of this. So
go back to defending Alan Moore and telling me more about how normal he is.
Yeah. So I never said he was normal. I'm just saying he had a legitimate gripe with DC.
Oh yeah, for sure he did.
So
doesn't he worship a snake god?
I think he just does that just to be a contrarian.
You think he's
I don't think. Yeah. I mean, maybe he gets some spiritual. Maybe he gets some spiritual. Some fulfillment out of it. But I just think he just does it because he's anti-religion. But that's sort of.
Hold on, it's the ancient cult snake god and glove puppet Glycon, founded by Alexander of Appomattox. Anyway. Yeah, cult snake god and glove puppet. What is a snake god and glove puppet? But
it's sort of like the giant. It's like the floating spaghetti monster.
I want to 100%. I'm like, yeah, that guy's trolling. He's a contrarian. He's having a lot of fun. And then you look at his facial hair. You look at that beard, and you're like, oh no, maybe he does believe in this cult snake god.
That's why he had to become a comic writer. No one else would hire him with that hairdo and that beard.
Yeah, that beard is bad. It's a bad beard. Has anyone gotten that man a comb? A beard comb? Get a beard comb, bro.
No, he's got to maintain his look so people recognize him. I don't think he goes to conventions anymore. Maybe like a few in like UK, but I think he's just running out.
Alan Moore is someone who wants to be recognized. He doesn't.
He's not doing a good job. If he didn't want to be recognized, he'd cut his hair and shave his beard.
Dude, Alan Moore looks like if Claudio Sanchez from Coheed and Cambria was a fucking and Marilyn Manson had a baby.
I guess so.
Yeah, if Marilyn Manson and Claudio Sanchez had a baby, it'd be Alan Moore.
All right. Yeah, he has a very distinctive look. I think like all those comics, Grant Morrison too, has a shaved head.
Do you know how old he is?
Who, Grant Morrison?
No, Alan Moore.
Probably like in the 70s.
He's 69.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes. He's about the same age as Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise. No, he's probably older than both of them. Yeah, it's like all those comic creators from like the British Invasion. The British Invasion of comic creators. Like Neil Gaiman has a very distinctive look. He looks just like Morpheus and Sandman. Grant Morrison just a shaved head.
Neil Gaiman looks like Morpheus?
Well, Morpheus, at least like the early issues, his visual look is based off Gaiman and Robert Smith.
Listeners. Sandman Morpheus, not Matrix Morpheus. I was like, Neil Gaiman's not black.
Oh, yeah.
I was super confused. No, the Morpheus from Netflix Sandman.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
So Neil Gaiman has a distinctive look. Grant Morrison has a distinctive look. Alan Moore's distinctive look. Warren Ellis sort of does. He just has like a beard, but he wears like fedora a lot. So I think that's sort of like his signature look. Garth Ennis is just like a out of shape Irish guy, but those are probably like the big five. And I guess Mark
Scott
Millar.
Snyder looks exactly like how I'd imagine Scott Snyder looks.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a distinctive look, but Greg Capullo does. Greg Capullo like always has sunglasses on. He has a shaved head too.
Greg Capullo. Let's see this guy.
Oh,
he's got the handlebar.
Look up Jim Steranko. He's a very, very distinctive look.
All right, give me half an hour to fucking try to spell that. I'm kidding. Google August dress. Dude, that guy looks like he fucks real good.
Yeah, he's like the George Hamilton.
That's who I want to look like. How old is 84? Yes.
Yeah, I saw him at HeroesCon.
James F. Steranko.
Yeah,
look him up.
He's really short though. He's really short though, but he had like a booth going on. And
I want this guy to like hook up with my grandma. This guy looks like fun.
He's like I think he was like a boxer / a escape artist before becoming a comic artist. So he's definitely one of the more eccentric comic artists out there.
He's a big Nick Fury fan, huh? Doing a lot of Shield stuff.
That's really all he's known for. I think Nick Fury. He probably did some other stuff, but I think that was like sort of his what he's probably best known for, Nick Fury. So yeah, a lot of these comic guys just have really distinctive looks, just so they're recognized. So
it's ironic because you'll never see them. There's no picture on the back of the comic or anything like that. You could go your entire life without knowing what Jack Kirby looks like.
If you get the trades, you'll see pictures of them, I think. At least for Watchmen. I remember there was a picture of Alan Moore in the back. But yeah. So a lot of good content this week. I should probably watch some.
You should probably watch some television.
I need to watch
because we're quickly about to run out.
Yeah, well, I think Secret Invasion is probably going to be premiere right after Mandalorian because I think Disney Plus needs to keep subscribers.
There's a terrible show that, at least it's gotten terrible reviews. Have you guys heard about this? Gotham Knights.
Apparently it's getting a lot of ratings, so people are watching it. Is that what you just said?
Good ratings or bad ratings or just?
No. Ratings have nothing to do with.
Just a lot of people watching. Just a lot of views. Like a lot of views, you mean?
A lot of views, but shitty ratings, at least from critics. But I don't know.
Okay.
It was just like it's just the weird. It's like they're just we know Batman will get greenlit, so what can we do with Batman now? We've already done Batwoman, we've already done Titans, we've already done like a Batman show, we've already done Birds of Prey, we've already done Arrow, which is basically trying to be Batman without using his name. What can we do?
Right.
Let's just have a show with all the sidekicks where Bruce Wayne is dead. And it's like Riverdale meets Batman. So I think they're trying to get the Riverdale crowd to watch it. But it's like Damian Wayne sort of, plus Harvey Dent's daughter, plus Harley Quinn, plus the Robin from The Dark Knight Returns. It's just like they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall. All these random sidekick characters.
Yeah, it seems very weird.
It's very desperate. And it's just like they're grasping at straws what to do. But hopefully, if James Gunn cancels this, then my trepidation about James Gunn running DC will, be depleted because this show needs to go. It just looks awful and it serves no purpose. And the whole CW universe just needs to die, except like Superman.
Is this even like the same thing, or is this more like Netflix and like Marvel and Netflix, where it's like like Kevin Feige had nothing to do with Marvel and Netflix. Kevin Feige was over Marvel. Like, is James Gunn over CW DC, or is he just over DCU?
Well, he said he's gonna combine the TV shows, video games, and movies.
Yeah, but so they have like an HBO, right? So they were going to do a bunch of stuff on HBO as well. So like, I wonder if. Yeah, I just haven't looked at like the 10Ks behind everything. I just don't know how they're all like situated together.
Well, I know I didn't watch Mandalorian or Bad Batch this week, but I can guarantee you I'm never going to watch Gotham Knights. So we're not going to cover that on the podcast.
I'll tell you right now, Bad Batch just finished up, and I highly recommend checking out season 2.
I'll check it out.
Much better than season 1. Like really, not bad for Star Wars content. Pretty damn good as far as kids content goes.
Well, you want to plug our social media?
I do, guys. You can find us on Twitter at Ziza Podcast. Let us know what you think about Bad Batch. Did you watch it this season? Do you plan on watching it? What do you think about John Wick? Do you want a John Wick 5? Should John Wick go on to John Wick 11 before they spin off into what? Wick and John Hobbs? I got nothing. I don't know.
Wick and Hobbs. Wick and Sean Hobbs.
Yeah. Sean Hobbs.
Rickshaw Hobbs.
Guys, how excited are you that Justin Roiland charges got dropped? Do you think he's going to come back? Are we going to see Rick and Morty for 69 more seasons? I don't know. Do you guys? Let us know on Twitter at Ziza Podcast or Ziza
there'll be
Ziza
a hashtag
Podcast.
about it. So
there'll be a hashtag though for sure, right? And people will be offended, and we will
bring back Roiland. Hashtag bring back Roiland. Hashtag Hemorrhoiland. People who don't want him back.
What was the Snyderverse? Right,
bring back the Snyder. I don't know.
Bring back the Roland verse, the Justin verse, Just verse.
I don't know. We'll
Guys,
see.
Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. You could be doing anything right now, but you decided to listen to this podcast. You stuck around to the very end, which means you guys are the very fucking best. Make sure to like, subscribe. It would mean the world to us if you could take 2 seconds to go on that gorgeous little app of yours where you're listening and just rate it. Maybe share it with your friends, because that's the best way to share these small podcasts. A little word of mouth. Thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate it.
I'm Forrest.
I'm the Major Lorian, apparently.
I'm Robin.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.